maybe the knowledge sort of comes from the inside of the hat, sort of a Mary Poppins style situation. But I'm not exactly.
Matty Poppins.
Matty Poppins. Look for that in theaters 2022. No. Sydney, you have some questions
I do
to
have
deliver
questions.
to Monster Handler Matt?
The first question that people have been asking a lot in the chat is, why can't the epics breed? And will they ever be able to breed?
All right. Epics, unable to breed. The interesting thing about epics is that they're, as we know, recently discovered thanks to the field notes that were collected by Dr. Warden E. Spurritt. So we basically know as much as you do at this point about the true nature of the epics, despite the fact that they share the same elemental configurations as commons and rares. There's clearly something unique and special about them. At the time, they're unable to rare just because of how special and how coveted these monsters are. One thing that we've observed over the years in the monster world is that the nature of a monster can change in reaction to different environmental factors. So, not to say that epic monsters will never be able to breed, but certainly for the amount that we've discovered now and their recent introduction to the world, that's just the way they are. It's just what makes them special, what makes them unique. But down the line, we may be able to discover something more about their unique nature that allows us to figure out if they can actually be bred. Can epics be bred with rares or commons or just other epics? We're not entirely sure, but I guess stay tuned because you know as much as we do.
There's just so much to discover.
There's so much to discover. The epics are really a major milestone in the monster world because we sort of figured that commons and rares were about all that there were, and now with epics, sort of the possibilities are endless once again.
And
so we'll see.
We haven't even discovered that many epics yet.
That's right.
There's still plenty to find out there.
Right. Is it confined to naturals? Is it something that we don't know how often they appear yet. So it's just something that we're still figuring out. And the field notes that we did collect from Dr. Spurritt are sort of jumbled, and the transmissions are sort of jumbled. So we're still sort of putting that together, sort of a national treasure situation.
It's exactly like that. But as a note, thank you to the community who helped us put together the first recording that we
I don't think we could have done it without them.
There's no way.
And so I think that just speaks to the collaborative nature of the My Sing Monsters community. It's amazing what we can achieve together.
Another question that people were asking is, did you voice Potbelly?
Did Monster Handler Matt voice Potbelly? Yes! Yes, I did. An in/out of universe moment.
And speaking of voicing monsters, is Hula voiced by a boy?
Hula, the Summer Song seasonal monster, is not voiced by a boy. I believe it's a woman's voice that has been modified after the fact by an audio editing program. And if I'm not mistaken, it's actually the same performer who does Pom Pom and Magpie. And we wanted that relationship between the hula and the Pom Pom to really be evident. So while the voices do sound different, I believe it is the same performer.
Very cool.
Great. Do we have time for one more question, do you think?
Yeah,
Sure.
let's sneak in one more.
All right, sounds good.
A lot of people are asking, how did the Celestials turn into stone in the first My Singing Monsters game?
That is the question, I think, on everybody's mind. Celestial Island, obviously the former Starhenge that was up in the Monster World sky, was not heard from for a long time. In fact, it fell out of memory. And so with the advent of it crashing down through the sky and landing atop the head of a colossal monster, the Celestials sort of came like that. It's still a bit of a mystery as to what the step was between them being alive and vibrant and singing and being in their sort of petrified, dormant state. There's a lot of theories that we have. Whenever a monster isn't performing or isn't singing, that sort of is, it weakens them. Song and music are really what power the world of My Singing Monsters. So when they fall silent, I think that their general state suffers. So that could have something to do with it, but the details of how they came to be silent, we're still not sure of.
Okay, and I was just told we have time for one more question, actually.
Great.
So a lot of people want to know, will there be an Epic Wubbox?
An Epic Wubbox. Wow. That's certainly an exciting prospect. I recall a time when we weren't even sure if a rare Wubbox would exist.
You're sitting out here playing.
Certainly it wouldn't surprise me if an Epic Wubbox existed. The interesting thing about rare Wubbox to remember is that it was actually a common Wubbox that took an adventure to the human world and collected information about our popular media, and it collected all of these sounds and transmissions and came back and rebuilt itself. So if an Epic Wubbox were to exist, I suppose it could be something that just sprang into being like the common Wubbox. It could be something that rebuilt itself like the rare Wubbox. With the discovery of epic monsters, it would certainly make sense that an Epic Wubbox would exist, but there certainly haven't been any sightings or any confirmed reports that such a thing exists. But who knows what the future will bring.
Great. Well, thanks for answering those questions.
My pleasure.
I have a question, actually.
Yes.
Will you be answering more questions later?
Yes, I will.
There'll be more questions asked throughout the day, so if you put one on social media or tweeting at us throughout the day, don't be alarmed if you didn't hear it yet. We will be getting through more. Matt will be visiting us quite frequently, I think, throughout the day.
Sure, and I hope to maybe play some games as well and show everyone just how bad I am at it.
No.
No?
No.
Oh,
Of
rats.
course you're welcome.
Yay!
I want to win
To
for
Monster
once.
Hand.
Oh, man. Yeah. Not everyone's good at everything, right?
Yeah, it can't be.
Everyone's good at something.
But everyone's good at something.